G'day folks, it's been a while. It's been quite a while since I've uploaded anything remotely interesting, well, anything at all for that matter. Yeah, you know, things as they are, weird times, lockdowns and so on, and my back being what it is. But it's a new year, and I'm sort of out and about again, which is awesome. And I've come up to one of my favourite little haunts. A while back, a friend of mine mentioned that he's also interested in historic grave sites, cemeteries and so on, and he'd appreciate it if I was out and about and I got any more footage to put something up, so I am. This is a beautiful place, and it's called Yalwal. It's not far from Nowra. It's in the Shoalhaven area of south coast of New South Wales. And this is the historic graveyard at Yalwal. It's really in disrepair. It's falling down. You see that says Shoalhaven City Council there. This is what's left of the original entrance to the graveyard. So we'll come through this little gate here and through this little sort of race. There's another couple of old posts here, and you would have entered the graveyard proper. There's a really good bit of fencing, quite new fencing, that's been put up by the Historic Graves Restoration Committee. Here we have a bit of info. Sorry for being out of puff, but it's a bit of a climb up the hill to get here. It's very humid and there's millions and millions of flies. But it is cow country, so that's kind of to be expected. On this left-hand top side here of the cemetery, there's a lot of Fletchers up here, and it's interesting. Well, it is to me, but back in the day, I had a good mate called Dave Fletcher, and it might be one of his people. I don't know. That's 1902, and then it's followed by, I guess, his wife in 1921. Here we have Tom Fletcher, the brother, died aged 39, 1917. (1914). Little plaques. Because the original writing is just worn off, just gone. More Fletchers. There's quite a prominent grave up here. 1927 again. One Elizabeth Jane Vidler, died aged 28. You can see where I am on this halfway up quite a high hill. It occurred to me as well the other day that just a little bit about the town. Actually, if you go back onto an earlier video of mine, I think there's one called the Drowned Town of Yalwal or something like that, and it's the dam. Well, what down there in the valley, right round the other side is where Yalwal used to be. Now, Yalwal was actually a bit of a gold boom town. It's no, not Boomtown rats. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, they pulled tons and tons of gold out of there. It was a flourishing town. It had half a dozen pubs. It had shops and apothecaries and a hospital and school and churches and lots of residents. Breweries, and the thing was that it's a hell of a way to get in here. You can see those mountains, part of the Cambawarra range, I think, or a spur off that range. Very windy, steep, and all the gold that they pulled out of here was crushed out of gold-bearing quartz. I'm going for a bit of a poke around today. That's completely illegible. And try and find some of the gold mines, the abandoned mines, and when I do, I'll make some videos of that because they're really interesting. But it's incredible to think that gold batteries and stamps and gold stamps and all that were machinery, to crush the quartz and get the gold out, was all hauled in here on drays and carts and so on, horses and bullocks. 1854, I think that's the oldest grave in here, and the town would have been absolutely flourishing in its prime about that time, the mid 19th century. So yeah, it all had to come from Sydney, I guess, on steamships or by dray. This is a sad one. Our little darling, Lillian Ida Davidos, age 10. Very sad. And yeah, and then unloaded probably at Shoalhaven or the boatyards at Huskisson maybe, or the railway siding at Bombardary, I'm not sure, but then all that huge tons and tons and tons of iron machinery brought in here and set up the gold batteries. An incredible undertaking. This grave here for Stanley Mason Prince, a darling son, aged 2 years and 2 months, buried in 1904. But you look at the size of this tree here, well, either that tree was just a little sapling or it was planted at the foot of Stanley's grave. But it's well over 100 years old now, isn't it? $140, $150 years old. Because they wouldn't have put the grave there if that huge tree had been there. You'd pretty much say that's a safe bet. Here again, 1911, Leslie Payne. Looks like age 13, could be. 70, could be. Oh, it's the 3 anyway. This one here, nothing left but the very top of a marble memorial or headstone. Beautiful too. So yeah, what was I saying? So down there, yes, men carved it all out of solid rock with handheld stuff, bars and hammers and picks. And then Then you can see most of these are early 19th century graves. That was about the time that the town was pretty much run out of gold. People had started leaving for the Great War, World War One. The gold was running out. It was also the Depression, so coming into the Depression years, the town was picked apart for building materials and all lugged out of here. Timber and iron and roofing and glass and all the stuff you need to build new dwellings elsewhere. So that's Second World War, yeah. Then, no, First World War, sorry. Okay. All over the shop. Then 1939, a massive bushfire came roaring down this valley, took out everything. You can see still up on those ridges the fires from the Black Summer. As part of this, some of these areas I still haven't grown back. Well over a year. Still dead. So much of the area is still dead. It's incredible and sad. So then the town, what was left of it, was burned away in 1939, and then the Shoalhaven Council decided to dam the Yalwal Creek, which you'll see in that other video of mine, and whatever's left of the town is now under a lot of water. So, but yeah, there's still some at low. When the dam is low, some of the old battery material is still visible. But this is the old. It really is a beautiful spot. There's a farm down there, cattle property down there. I just noticed that big, steep road coming down that hill. And yeah, so you climb up, you can see my car down there in the distance, that blue car down there. You climb up the hill. I'll leave you to it now. But it's a beautiful spot, it's worth coming to. It's probably only about half an hour out of Nowra. And like all these colonial grave sites, they're in beautiful places, and they have a melancholy, eerie, but nice feel about them. I don't find them spooky at all, although it might be different at night time. Yeah. Well worth a look. And just come and see Yalwal anyway, and the dam. Brilliant spot for canoeing, and I dare say there's probably a good bit of trout fishing further up the river too. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me, and I'm out and about again now, and I'll be doing a bit of footage around this area, especially when I find the gold shafts and that, because how they are just chiseled through solid rock, through the living rock, as they say. It's amazing, the efforts, you know. And I've been told that there's still a bit of gear up there too. Some abandoned, not just machinery, but tools and, you know, that sort of stuff. Barrows and whatnot. All right, folks. Yeah. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.